Welcome back to Cars Vault. There are vehicles you park in a space, and then there are machines that define the space they occupy. This is not the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach Grand G-Class arriving. This is the landscape itself shifting to acknowledge a new sovereign. Every other object, every rival SUV, every piece of architecture, every person on the sidewalk instantly becomes a supporting character in a scene it didn't audition for. And I have to confess something to you right now before we take another step. My expectations were completely shattered. I've stood beside countless premium SUVs. I've documented their features, their promises, their gradual homogenization into a sea of polished leather and cold start exhaust notes. I thought this would simply be the next one, the inevitable ultra-expensive Maybach, a limited run crafted solely for financial statements. I could not have been more mistaken. And what I'm about to show you is precisely why. This isn't an upgrade. This isn't a facelift. This is a declaration. Mercedes-Benz has looked across the entire realm of ultimate luxury, observed every contender who believed they held the crown, and deployed a statement so absolute, so intentionally overwhelming, that the category itself must now reset its parameters. The Grand G-Class is the result of a single staggering command: build a mobile fortress, a traveling sanctuary, a sovereign entity on wheels that acknowledges no equal. And the terrifying truth is, they succeeded. They weren't just sketching concepts, they were drafting a new reality. You notice its authority from hundreds of feet away. That is by design. Its silhouette commands a focus your mind can't yet rationalize, a form so unflinchingly angular, so purposefully vast, so elongated beyond any previous iteration of this legendary bloodline. This doesn't resemble car design. This resembles structural engineering. It looks like it should be anchored to bedrock, but it glides, it advances, and the environment yields. Let's discuss the data, because here, numbers are part of the aura. It exceeds a Rolls-Royce Cullinan in length. Its mass surpasses 7,000 pounds. Its power plant delivers over 600 HP. Its entry point begins well beyond $500,000 for a utility vehicle that retains the iconic boxy profile born in 1979. And paradoxically, that heritage amplifies its worth, not diminishes it. The shape isn't a constraint, it's the entire thesis. Legacy cannot be faked. You cannot purchase 45 years of cultural weight. You either embody history or you are an imitation. The Grand Edition is that history. And then the light transforms it. Stop. Observe that flank. Seriously, look. The endlessly long body mirrors its surroundings like a polished obsidian slab. The paint doesn't cover the metal, it consumes it. Every flat plane, every precise crease becomes a liquid, hypnotic surface. Stand before this machine at dawn and watch the horizon paint itself across that impossible finish. This isn't automotive steel. This is liquid shadow cast into geometric form, a gravitational monument shaped like an SUV, warping light and perception into its own orbit. Park it beside any rival. Assemble every luxury SUV ever conceived into a single line. Your gaze will anchor here first. That isn't bias. That isn't advertising. That is a physical law. That is the measurable effect of pure presence. But here is where my perspective fundamentally altered. Here is the pivot I never saw coming. The scale doesn't intimidate, it comforts. A profound psychological shift occurs when you're adjacent to something this substantial, this planted, this intentionally massed. The heft is deliberate. You sense it in the posture, the way the wheels embed into the pavement as if they've claimed that territory for generations, as if they'll only depart when they deem the time appropriate. This machine doesn't hurry.
It progresses with intent. Every kilogram serves a purpose. Every panel contributes to its aura. The Grand Edition isn't pursuing speed, it's pursuing permanence. Most vehicles will never comprehend that distinction. Velocity is temporary, presence is eternal. This machine has chosen its legacy. Then your attention moves to the front fascia, and I need you to absorb this detail, because this grille is where Mercedes revealed this project's true nature. It doesn't welcome you, it evaluates you. Vertical chrome elements stand like pillars to a vault. They demand acknowledgement before granting access. The hood extends forward, an endless flat plane of latent potential. The headlights flank it like observant guardians, sharp, intelligent beams housed in a design that murmurs instead of yelling. This face doesn't need to roar. Its quiet confidence is deafening. And in its shadow, every other SUV attempting aggression with scowling LEDs and gaping intakes suddenly appears insecure. They seem to be pleading for your approval. The Grand Edition seeks no approval. It merely is. The debate concluded long ago. Now the doors. 7 occupants. Not 5, not 6. 7 individual chambers for 7 individuals who comprehend that true travel demands volume, demands atmosphere, demands the right to occupy space without excuse. Process that. 7 appointed seats in a G-Class with a wheelbase extended into limousine territory. This makes traditional full-size luxury SUVs seem like concessions. This cabin doesn't request you trade comfort for capacity. Bring your legacy. Bring your confidants. Bring anyone worthy of residing within a moving institution. There is capacity, ample capacity, and every position, from the first row to the third, is treated as the primary seat. Identical materials, identical artistry, an identical rejection of compromise. No caste system, no secondary passengers, only excellence distributed democratically across all 3 rows. Step across the threshold. The ambience transforms instantly. The external universe fades, not due to tinted glass, but because the interior demands your complete sensory engagement. You realize you've never truly been inside a vehicle. You've been inside transit pods. This is an alternate dimension, a sanctuary enveloped in leather hides that have known only flawlessness. Every surface yields with a suppleness that requires decades of mastery to create. Stitching performed by artisans whose work is judged by touch, tolerating 0 deviation from perfection. The seats don't accommodate you, they assimilate you. They anticipate your form, heated, ventilated, massaged by systems so silent you forget they're active. And here is the statistic that silenced me. When you seal that vault-like door, a sound of absolute finality, the outside world is muted by 64 decibels. Let me contextualize that. You are now seated within an environment quieter than a soundproofed studio, quieter than a breath in a vacant hall. That is a silence you perceive in your bones, a silence that redefines the act of journeying. This isn't a cabin, this is a universe with 7 seats. Ambient lighting traces the architecture like a gentle suggestion. Cool silver for focus, warm gold for relaxation, deep burgundy for contemplative moments. The dashboard spans the horizon. Digital interfaces live seamlessly beneath surfaces of wood that remember being ancient trees and metal that gleams without arrogance. The future should feel this inevitable. Here it does. I anticipate the critique. This is too immense, too heavy, too costly for a form rooted in utilitarian history, too impractical for common roads, too extreme for anyone not deliberately making a statement. I once shared that view. I understood those logical arguments. They aren't incorrect. They are simply not applicable. They are inquiries posed by those who were never the intended patron. individuals measuring worth in miles per gallon and ease of parking, individuals who must rationalize an acquisition to an external party. The brand edition does not engage in this dialogue. It does not justify its existence. It does not offer explanations. It is indifferent. This vehicle exists for an entirely different paradigm of individual, a person whose decisions are already made, a person who concluded the need for external validation years prior, a person whose transport must align with the altitude they permanently inhabit. If you require persuasion, you are not the client. The client already knew. The client experienced a resonance the moment that silhouette entered their field of view. The client doesn't need authorization. The client requires availability. This is for those who have already arrived and now seek a companion worthy of that arrival.